Hey, it's Brock here with Rock Hill Farms, and we were supposed to get a plywood delivery yesterday and it didn't show up. Apparently the lumber yard has some scheduling and staffing issues. They said they'll get us our plywood tomorrow. The problem is we don't need it tomorrow, we need it right now. So I'm going to take the new gooseneck, get it hooked up, and go get a load of plywood. We'll get that unloaded, and I'm going to talk a little bit about the situation with lumber prices. So as I go through the process of getting this lumber picked up and unloaded and moved up into our shop, I just thought I'd share all the information I've been able to find on what's been going on with lumber prices. And I don't guess I'm really an expert on lumber prices or how that market works, but I was just looking at some information for my taxes, and the manufacturing business we have up in the shop spent over $250,000 on lumber last year. So I would describe myself as a very interested party. So I just wanted to summarize what I've seen and what I think is going to happen from here. This loads 3,500 pounds of plywood on a 3,400 pound trailer. Gives you 6,900 pounds. I'm going to check the weigh safe and see how much of that 6,900 pounds is transferring to the truck bed. This is a case where the design of the trailer doesn't let me get the plywood up as far as I want to. It's almost as far, but this should probably be a couple feet further, and without some kind of a pusher and something to put against the plywood, the forklift at the hardware store couldn't get this any further up. So it may not have been as far off as I thought, because we've got 1,000 pounds of tongue weight and a 6,900 pound trailer adds up to 15%. And I think I want to be at 13 to 14% tongue weight. So maybe just a little bit further forward, but overall this isn't bad. You can see we're almost centered over the two axles, but it feels like a gooseneck. You want to be another foot forward. I've shown how we move this plywood before, but this is a case where it'd be really nice to have the deck over trailer and a skid steer, so I can just lift this off, set it in, and go in the house. It's a little cold out here. But as it is with the tractor, we're going to be moving it 12 sheets at a time, and I split this to take 12 sheets at a time with splitting wedges and a pry bar. So what I don't want to happen is when I drive in, the forks to get tight and slide that wood back, because we could be in a situation where it's hard to recover. But if I can get just a little bit in and then tilt back, you just stick that piece of wood under there. Like when you're getting ready to put your hand in there, give me a wave so I quit moving. Then I'll get lifted up, slide that in, and then I'll pick up, I'll be able to get a full, all the way into it. The main thing that we buy is this 3/4 CD plywood. It's actually called 23/32. I just call it 3/4. But we process about 100 sheets a week, sometimes more, for the product we build. And for a long time, we've been producing this product for about 5.5 years. And most of that time, the price would range from $28 to $40 a sheet, somewhere in that area. And after COVID hit, another 6 months after that, it was shooting up through the roof, making it really hard to actually be profitable as a business that uses this. And we saw it get as high as $90 a sheet, at which point I really don't think I was profitable. I made a slight price increase, but it was hard to really match that inflation with my prices. This fall, we saw that $90 a sheet come all the way back down to $40 a sheet, but now it's going back up, and I think I paid $58 a sheet for this plywood. Now the real question is, when is it coming back down, or is it going to just keep going up? I've watched the lumber yard load this 100 times, and their method for lifting the end and sliding the bunk back, I've got a few ideas in my head how I could do this all with the tractor. And then I'm standing here thinking about how safe it is and the possibility we dump the whole thing over even if no one gets hurt, it makes a mess. I think it might be better pick up a few sheets, you know. A little manual labor never hurt anybody. So I've pretty much watched every video I could find and tried to read some articles and obviously just watch what the market is doing right now and try to come to an understanding of what's going to happen with these prices. Because I have no choice but to buy this lumber. I can't raise my prices so much that sales drop because I have a crew of people working for me and I care about maintaining that crew. So I'm going to buy it no matter what it costs. And a lot of people in the building market are the same way. But on a personal level, we wanted to build a deck and just had to say there's no way I can justify it until prices come down. I should have bought the lumber this winter, but it wasn't on my mind having a new pool deck when it's snowing on the ground. As far as what's going to happen with the market, a lot of people are trying to tell us what's going to happen, but it's all speculation because it hasn't happened yet. So there is a lot of reasons to believe that lumber is going to shoot back up and maybe get all the way up where it was last summer. And I don't look forward to $90 a sheet, but what can you do about it? So the reason that we're seeing this increase in prices is fairly complicated. Obviously, you start off with supply and demand. That there's a large demand for lumber right now. And on the surface, it seems like we have an unlimited supply. Currently, just in the U.S., there is enough standing lumber ready to be milled to last us for 30 years. So it's not a supply of trees. It's a supply of manpower and equipment to process it. But that's really not it either. It's mainly the ability to transport it. Because logistically right now, when this wood is milled in a remote location and then it's got to be spread all over the country, it's really difficult to find drivers and fuel is up. So that's the biggest thing. And I'm seeing that across every other material that we buy for our product. Prices are up because it's getting stuck in transit and it's being delayed, and that's causing a lot of headaches. The other thing is we put tariffs on the import of lumber from Canada, and that's not helping our pricing any either. So there's not much we can do about any of that, and you can't just not buy lumber when you need it. But the most interesting takeaway for me is that anytime you see that lumber price drop, if you know you've got a project, you better jump on it and stock that wood up, because I'm regretting not doing that. The other thing is, if I didn't have something established like I do, I would definitely be looking at getting in the trucking business. Whether that's hot shot hauling or actually over-the-road trucking, there is a serious need for hauling and, to help with this logistics nightmare that's going on. I like it a lot better where it works out on the schedule that they can deliver this. They'll set the whole bunk in there with one load, and then they set a second bunk down here in the shed, and we do have to always bring that around like this. But anyway, not that big of a deal, just takes a little bit of time. Hopefully in the next few days you'll see another video updating my new plan for this sawdust collection. I've got all the parts in, got everything ready. We just have to clean this mess up again and set up a better system. I appreciate you taking time to watch this video. I'll put more of our videos over here, and I'll see you next time.